modify your car. Welcome to SVG Tapes. I'm Matt with you here today. This is my Mazda Speed 3 behind me. As you can see, it's pretty modified. So we have some room to talk on the subject. Now, I'm guessing this is your first time modifying a car, so this is going to be a video describing or helping you guys choose your first modification that you'd like to do on the car. You just bought your new sports car, you just bought your new WRX, and you're wondering where you want to go first, whether you want to buy aesthetic mods or engine mods. Whether you want to do the light side or the dark side. The stance world or the race car world. You want to join Camber Gang or do you want to race on the tracks? It's going to be a little sit-down discussion, so give me 10 minutes of your time, and by the end of it you'll know what mod you want to buy first for your new car. Now, I'm going to be talking about the engine side of things first, because that is what I did with this car. Not my first car. My first car did aesthetic mods, and there's different pleasure aspect of both types of modifications. I'll go over that soon. But I went for engine modifications first with this car. You gotta start with the basics of a motor. It gets fuel and air, and then it goes out the exhaust. So in order to do all that, a good way to gain power is to make everything bigger so it has more flow. A great starting mod, what I did on this car was just to buy an intake and exhaust. So you could buy either or you could buy both together. But whether or not it is turboed or able to be tuned, most turbo cars are able to be tuned is what I'm saying. But hold on, it's extremely hot and I'm gonna grab some glasses. Much better. Now I can see. So once you pick your first mod, then you've got to dive into that category and see what brand, what type, what actual part that you want in that category. So me, I just went with a Cork Sport intake first. I got a 2.5-inch intake, but like since then I've upgraded to a 3-inch. So you got to start somewhere. So just get your first intake and get your exhaust, either or both. And you're going to want to select a tuner to be able to reprogram your computer. Once you've made that choice, whether it be an intake or an exhaust, those are the two that I would recommend, either or both of those as your first engine modification. Once you decide those, then you've got to dive deeper into that category and figure out what brand of part that you want, because there's a bunch of competition brands, they all compete. Now, once you do that, it might add that you might need to get a tune. For most turbo cars, you're going to need a tune afterwards. Some NA cars would be okay with just an intake, but if it's that much of a higher flow, then you're going to need to get a tune either way. You got to figure out whether you can tune your stock ECU or you need to get a separate tuner, like a Cobb Access Port is what we have, or like Honda, just the little tuners that can connect to your car to be a third-party way to upload tunes to your car. That way you can do it over the air, or if you want to do it the real way, just take your car to a tuner and you can put it on a dyno or just do a street tune. This car got street tuned first, and now it got a dyno tune, and then it got it over the E-tune. And then it got another street tune. So I've done them all. They're definitely dyno recommended the highest, because the tuner itself can actually dial in the car and feel it and make it perfect. But if you got to do electronic or over the air, like our tuners are Nishan, he's in California, so like I'm not going to take my car to California to get dyno. So an E-tune is not the worst thing, is what I'm saying. We also have off-the-shelf ones, but we won't go there. Those are your options for your first engine modification. You're going to need to get a retune after each step you take in your engine base, so I'd recommend you buy a lot of parts at once and install them all at once, and then get one retune, so you avoid the fact of buying one part and get a tune, and buy another part and get another tune, because if you don't get the tune, then it's going to cause damage to your motor. Whether it be a blow-up valve, could cause severe damage. They run wonky after you put a blow-up valve on there if it's not tuned for it, pads, bypass valve. And that's such a little part, but like it could be anything. The VTC deletes on these cars, butterfly valves, change the intake manifold, just changing any sort of flow on a turbo car will cause damage probably. And it's a very good idea to watch your air-fuel ratio, and you should get a gauge also. Kind of thrown in there with your first mods, definitely buy an air-fuel gauge, whether that be on your tuner or a separate gauge. You need one of those. As for the dark side, the stance world, Camber Gang, I used to like camber. I don't really anymore, even though the car has camber. I need it to fit the wheels. I didn't really spec out my wheels perfect when I picked them, so it is what it is, the way it fits. I do like the way it looks, but it's not super cambered out, like 17 degrees, 20 degrees, something like that. If you want that, nothing against you, but it's just not our cup of tea. With the stance world, it's easier to cut corners. It's more personal. If you gotta touch your own car, you gotta feel her up. I've done everything you've seen to this car. It has never been in a shop. So like, the canards were drilled by me. I've drilled into this car so many times. That's a fear you're gonna have to get over if you want to aesthetically mod your car. Drilling into your paint, yeah, get over that with it. That goes straight out the window. That's scary. A good mod to start out with, I would recommend being, as funny as it is because I don't even have it on the car yet, tinted windows and wheels. Tinted windows I've found on a car will change it the most. Mine don't have them because I don't really want to get pulled over a lot with my wastegate coming out the hood. But I do plan on getting them. They just will make the car so much more mean than it really is, or than it already is. So tinted windows, I wouldn't go 5% or limo tint because you really can't see out of it at night. So definitely go with a higher percentage tint so you can actually see out of them. On the other hand, I would recommend doing wheels as a first aesthetic mod because it's aesthetic as well as performance, because if you widen the track width of your wheel, you'll handle better in corners. So it's kind of the best of both worlds with wheels, and wheels will really transform the way a car looks. And maybe you should make that wheels and tires because you're going to need to buy tires as well as wheels. Now, I wouldn't cheap out on wheels. My rule of thumb is to avoid the type of wheels that have multi-lug nuts, like they have a 5-bolt pattern and a 4-bolt pattern. I would avoid those wheels. They're usually weak around the center. They're just not quality wheels. They should be like that, just your specific bolt pattern. If you don't know that, look it up on the internet. You're going to have to figure that out. And your hub bore, which is the circle that fits inside of your wheel. If you've never taken your wheels off, maybe do that first also, just so you understand how to take it off and put it on. Unless you don't plan on doing that, but that'll really help you understand to pick out your spec of wheels. I also recommend jumping on forums for your specific car, because I can tell you everything about a speed, but you guys probably all don't have speed. If you do, the hub bore is 67.1 and the bolt patterns are 5 by 114.3. And these are 18 by 9.5 inch wheels. Wheels will really transform the way your car looks, and you'll be very happy with wheels. So I'd recommend doing those first. And if you get done your wheels, then the next thing I'd recommend doing, or in place of that, which will also be good for your car, you really start wherever you want, but wheels transform your car the most, and aero. I've done all my aero, but over the course of it, it does add up. Like, I haven't got a diffuser yet because they're $500. But my canards and my lip and everything just makes it look so much more aggressive. I used to have a wing spoiler, a wing extension, but I took it off since because when I wrapped the car. By the way, half of the car is wrapped and you're going to see the white half right now. But if you want to see the other halves, check out our other videos. We have POV videos and build breakdown if you want to see everything that's done to the car. It makes about 350 horsepower, it's external wastegate. It sounds amazing, it's a really fun car. But side skirt extensions, like everything with that fact, you're going to have to learn how to drill holes and measure to drill your holes in your pre-existing body panels, because a lot of the parts don't come with pre-drilled holes in your aero to fit the pre-drilled holes in your bumper or whatever you're attaching it to. So there's some customization that goes into that, and you really just got to dive in head first. Like, you're never going to feel ready to modify your car. You just got to buy the part and force yourself to do it, and you'll figure out a way to do it. Trust me. In my personal experience modifying cars, I've found that engine modifications will really make you happy on the inside, and exterior modifications will just make you happy on the outside. Like, whenever you see your car, you'll be happy, but it won't give you the yearning to drive your car. Doing engine modifications will really make you fall in love with your car, just by the way it makes you actually feel when you're driving. The exterior mods, you can't see the outside of your car when you're driving it. It doesn't even matter, literally. The only thing that matters is to other people, how the other people perceive you. So, in that fact, I would start with the engine mods, and then catch up your exterior to the way your interior, or catch up your exterior to the way your engine really is. Kind of make the car all together. Because if you do exterior mods first, you're going to be not as satisfied as if you do engine mods first. Just trust me. And that's what I did with this car. I did not do it with my first car, and that's why I did it with this car, and that's what I'd recommend. Now, with cost differences though, it kind of goes hand in hand. You can buy super expensive body pieces, and you can buy super expensive engine mods. You can buy really cheap you can kind of do whatever you want. I would recommend researching each part that you want to buy, each specific brand. Like, there's some brands for cars that just make a bunch of parts for them. Like Corksport makes a lot of parts for this car. Corksport's a good brand, so like anything you buy from them would be reputable and you could rock on the car. But like, I would avoid eBay if you can at any circumstance. But some things are so minute that you can buy them off eBay because you don't want to waste the money on something else. Like my crash bar, for instance. I built my own crash bar because it's just a piece of metal in between the two frame rails. Like, cut corners where you can, but not all. You just gotta wait and save your money if you want to do it right, because you will get pointed out. Car guys are smart. But in that fact, I would say engine is probably going to be more expensive right off the bat because you're going to need to buy your tune to be safe if you do a big mod. Aero or engine or wheel, anything exterior wise, you could go for something tiny the first time and then it wouldn't cost a lot of money. So exterior would be definitely a cheaper way to go first, other than engine mods. But would I recommend it? Not really. I think that's really everything there is to cover on the car. Where you want to go at with modifying it, you've got your exterior, interior mods, your aesthetics, and you've got your engine and your drivetrain. Like, I kind of forgot the drivetrain, but that comes after the engine. Either way, let us know what car you guys have, what car are you modifying, what car are you thinking about modifying. Let us know in the comments. We're very interested. We always love hearing what you guys have to say. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe. For every Wednesday we do weekly uploads at 11 a.m. If you want more daily content, head over to our Instagram at 7 Valleys Garage. Yeah, don't forget to drop a like on the video. We hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you for watching. See you next week.